is this company or this set of lineups, are they a worthy competition to Winspace? Last question is, do I get to bring all of this home? If it's already unboxed.
We'll arrange.
Damn it, every time you bring things for me, right, you let me unbox but you don't let me bring it home. The last one was the Sika, now these 3 wheels. Welcome back to another video, guys. Today I'm here with Jack, the bike doctor, for the second round of interview. Today he has brought me new boxes. The last time we did the Sika, so now we have a bunch of Vortex wheels. So Jack, thank you so much again for coming over. This time we have Vortex wheels. Could you just give us a bit of background on what you have brought us today?
Okay, so within the series of wheels right here, there are 3 boxes. One is the Benchmark, which is the entry level, and then followed by the Classic, which is the mid-tier. And then a lot of you have been asking about the No Compromise, which is effectively the new concept on their product range. And it's also over here. What is special about this box here though, which I'm going to let him open, there is a 40mm front and a 60mm rear later that you'll actually see, and then we'll actually go through the details of all the different wheels and in close-ups as well, so that you'll be able to get to enjoy this process as well.
So today we have a huge ass, this is called a wind noise because there's a lot of construction going back behind, so we have to resort to using this. So we have 3 wheels, so the lineup is the New Concept, Classic and the Benchmark, right? So which one will I be opening first? Is it this one?
You'll be opening the build-up, you'll be going on from the Benchmark, followed by the Classic, followed by the New Concept. But just bear in mind that every time when we're doing this whole build-up, it's also to sort of see the technology that's actually being trickled down from top to bottom or bottom to top. But for Vortex instance, they actually go from the top to the bottom. So whatever that's actually being introduced on the top notch models, they are actually trickled down towards the lowest end as well.
I only have 2 hands, so I'll do the opening. Maybe you can do the commentary.
Okay, so the first box which is going to be opened up, it's actually the Benchmark, which is entry level. And if you actually see it, the box inside is actually very well packed. And for this particular series of wheels, they do not come with the air valves, which are provided inside the Classic as well as the New Concept series. And then if you actually slowly take out everything, this is very, very nice. It's black on black. So the decals are actually quite muted. Actually, across all these 3 models, all of them are black on black.
There are two sets of wheels. Can I just use one first?
Yes.
It's the same, right? Okay. This is the rear one with the hub.
Yeah,
so I think it's good enough.
Okay. So rear.
Wow. Okay, I think you need my first impressions, right? Sorry, which model is this again?
This is the Benchmark.
Oh, okay, my God. This is the Benchmark.
It's okay.
Wow, Benchmark wheels. And these are aluminium spokes. What is the depth of this? Is it a 40?
40 mm.
40 mm and... nice, man. Oh shit, everything's flying away. It's okay, I think we can leave it there.
It's alright.
Yeah. Yeah, can you talk us through these wheels?
For this set of wheels, they are running on a 40 mm, and the carbon fiber on the rim is actually on the T700. If you actually notice on the flange, it's actually a smaller size version of the larger one from the New Concept. And so they scaled down a little bit, but everything on it, it's here, that technology on it. If you actually look through the spokes, where this is actually still the fixed T-shaped spoke. So it actually increases structural rigidity by almost 15 to 20%. And arrow spokes, the same hub internals, except there is no ceramic bearings. These are still enduro bearings, and they are running on an ABC5, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
And it's tubeless ready.
Okay.
And it's for this pair of wheels, they are about 1530 grams.
How much do these wheels retail for?
For the entry ones, they are 1560. They come with a 2-year manufacturer warranty, and then they come with a lifetime crash replacement warranty at 30% off. So for it's like when we're actually riding, anything really can happen. So with that 30% off lifetime, it sort of gives assurance towards riders like you yourself, and us actually. the assurance that if anything happens, the manufacturer will be there for us.
There is a name here, Huang's and Yu. What does that mean? I'm assuming it's the founders, but do you have more insights on this?
So, Huang and Yu, I just got the answer this morning as well because I've been doing this for a little while. And we've been hearing a lot about Dr. Huang the whole entire time. Huang and Yu is basically 3 founders, 2 with the surname of Huang, and 1 with the surname of Yu. That's why it's Huang's and Yu.
Okay. How long has this company been around? I mean, this is the benchmark. We've got 2 more to unbox. But yeah, how long have they been around?
They have been around since 2016, and this particular company itself has been going through probably 4 iteration of this entire set of wheels already. So you can call them really just perfecting each and every model of theirs. The history of them is they actually founded this company inside their dorm rooms. And many people are really expecting it to be like an aerodynamic company or mechanical engineering company, but no, the founders were actually structural engineers. And structural engineers, the most important part is they will always worry about the structural rigidity as well as everything else around it. So they incorporated their structural rigidity sort of knowledge, their know-hows into, with the aerodynamics know-hows into this particular set of wheels. That's why whenever you look at this set of wheels, they're completely different from what it is on the open market. They don't share any of these parts with any other company within the industry. And Dr. Huang, if you actually speak to him in person, he's actually quite interesting because he pays a lot of attention to small little details. And there are, of course, looming questions such as how do you compare this set of wheels to other companies, or how do you compare yourself to other big brands, big European brands. I would sort of say that it's completely different, and from their know-hows put into this, you have to sort of see the wheels up front, really up close, and see them in the details, which we will try to put it into the camera and sort of explain you through this this sort of journey, and then you'll be able to understand it from a consumer perspective as well. Okay, so this set of wheels, they are asymmetrical in terms of the carbon rim, and then hubs, like I mentioned earlier on, they actually use the same exact hubs that is actually gone all the way from the top to the bottom. Even if you're talking about one of their key features, which is the active balancing system. As you sort of spin the wheel, right, the wheel won't really warp around up and down like that. And this is only from the lowest end side of wheels. So I think that sort of gives people who are more demanding of their equipment the sense of assurance whenever they are riding. Otherwise, if you're riding a high-end bike and then your wheel just goes warping the whole entire time like that, it just sort of affects your whole entire riding pleasure. For rim brakes, they also have like a laser cutout, laser edging, which we will see inside the new concept later, that they actually have the laser cutouts to allow the water to actually drain out, as well as the brake pads to actually bite more, especially when you're going downhill, because most of the time when we are riding, we want to be able to brake fast enough to respond and to bang in harder into the corners, and then you get more grip out of your brakes.
Okay, so this is the benchmark. Shall we move on to the next one? I mean, there's some Instagram Q&A and some questions from myself. We'll leave it to the very last bit. Let's open everything. So let's pack this one up first. Do you wanna? Nice. Okay, so this is the Classic, and commentary please. while I open this.
So the 40mm Classic is the exact trickled down technology from the Vortex New Concept. There is just no carbon fiber spokes. Instead, they're actually using a steel spoke. And then the carbon fiber layup on the rim is exactly the same. It runs on ceramic bearings as well. Weight-wise, it's 100 grams lighter than these ones. They're about 1430, and that's for the disc brake ones. They come in disc brake and rim brake versions, white and black decals. So I usually leave it to clients to sort of correspond with me, their kind of desired size and their kind of spec sheet. and they can even spec up to 40mm front, 60mm rear, or if they decide they want to go 60-60, yes, 40-40, yes as well. Okay, so first impression, these are black on black as well.
First impressions, it is way lighter than the other one, for sure. I just realized there's actually a wheel back that comes with all this, right?
The wheel back comes for the Classic series as well as the New Concept. The Benchmark doesn't have it.
Alright. And the wheel back is just a standard black back that can fit two wheels, right?
Yeah, and then on the side there's actually a space for those who have rim brakes to actually store the skewers inside. So it's actually quite well thought in a way.
So first impressions, again, I'm not sponsored by anyone. Can I say anything that I want? Okay, what I want to say is that it is very much lighter. What is the price difference between this one and the other one?
That one earlier on, it's actually 1560. This one is 2059. So if we're looking at slightly under $500 increment, you also get the ceramic bearings, which are shared across the New Concept as well as for the Classic series. So the Classic series actually has all the trickled down technology from the New Concept, but just no carbon fiber spokes. But it also gives people who don't want the carbon fiber spokes option as a really nice peace of mind as well. Right. Even for example, the eyelets for the spokes, they are actually the same as the New Concept.
For me, the first impression is the weight is the significant difference. The reason why I asked you what is the price difference, because if I have that additional $500, I would rather spend it on this one purely because of the weight, right? When I picked it up, I was like, wow, it's so much lighter compared to the other one. So, I mean, if I'm really going to buy a pair of wheels, I'd rather weigh it out, save that $500 and buy this. Then again, it's your choice whether you want to save up for the $500, but I'll save up for this one. So this one is a carbon rim. The other one's carbon as well, right?
So between these two, if you actually look side by side, they look almost identical, but how you actually differentiate them is the Huang Zhenyu on the top, the branding. The Benchmark version is white, whereas the rest of them are all black. They really just look very similar, but when you actually go down to the details, especially near to the spokes as well as the eyelet, that's where you actually see the difference. Because this sort of the spokes they actually calculated in the sense that however you actually take out all the spokes and put them all together, they are the same length. So there's no different length and no differentiation across. But what you do notice is you see that on the drive side you have more spokes than the non-drive side, is to actually give it a bit more strength and rigidity, especially when you're actually getting out of the saddle and really just punching through.
Okay, yeah, so I think before we go on to more questions about performance and price, and before we wrap up everything, let's open all three again and then we will talk about that. Alright, the finale. This one is the expensive one. This is the New Concept. Over to you.
The New Concept is where a lot of people have been sort of inquiring about. From Cycling 100, you will see it as being a no compromise. You'll see a lot of people doing reviews on it now, but they sort of just touch and go, don't really go into the details of it because there's very limited knowledge of the company itself. The New Concept, basically, it's the middle ground of you going for lightweights, Partington, even for the hypers. It's the middle ground of it. Exact same technology as having replaceable carbon spokes, but do bear in mind that these wheels are all proprietary to themselves. As you can see, once it opens the box, it comes with a proprietary valve in it. These are not normal valves, these are proprietary valves to fit the rims which has no eyelet, which the same for New Concept. It also goes to the Classic series on both. What is opening now, it is the rim brake version, and it is a 40 front, 60 rear. Struggle.
I don't want to break any of this.
Okay, so inside comes with a wheel back as well. That's the 60 rear.
Yeah.
And the 60 rear black on black, once again, because that is what most customers have been asking for, and I also have been doing both the black and the whites. Okay, so first impression.
Man, it's just getting lighter and lighter. Okay, this one, it's slightly lighter, but doesn't feel as light because I think it's in a deeper depth.
Yes.
But this one looks okay. First impressions, aesthetically, the spokes makes the most difference. I think not sure if it's picking out on the camera. It's carbon spokes and it's much more aero, so it's flatter. Obviously, this is a rim brake version. I can see some treads on the wall, and this one looks much more pro. Maybe because of the depth of the rim. That's why it looks much more aggressive and yeah. So I think weight is one of it. And is this wider? The rims are wider?
Between the Classic series, they are a 24mm. No, sorry. The Benchmark is 24mm. The Classic is 26, and these guys are also 26. So I mentioned earlier on, right? The technology across all the different range, they are actually, you see the same similarity. For example, the oversized flange for these guys, they actually made it as aerodynamic as possible. So when you actually look from the different depths and different profile, it's actually super flat. But then what happens is, because they have to get this aerodynamic profile, they will also want to cut out a lot of the in-between spaces to save as much weight as possible. What you do notice for this particular hub also, there is carbon fiber on it. And on top of the aluminium. And then the spokes are a lot thicker. Like right now when I'm holding it with the little breeze coming through, you can actually feel the wheel like warping out a little bit. When they actually designed this in mind, was all about cutting through air as much as possible. And this was actually in their laboratory, in their wind tunnel, doing their own test with their moldings. So I was mentioning about the brake surface where they have this laser cutout. A lot of people are doing it within the industry, but if you actually look very closely, how it works is that the water actually drains out from the side, and then one, you actually don't have so much of the aquaponic on the brake pads, and second, you can actually allow the brake pads to bite it a bit closer towards the rims. So you can brake really a lot harder, a lot faster as well.
Okay, so now again, I'm a very cheapo. So what is the price on this one?
So this one is 3490.
So it's almost a $900 increment from the other one. I really like this one though. It looks very expensive. We will get all the Freehub sounds later. Yeah, but super cool. I think last one you have some special goodies, which are the spokes. Let's put this aside. Jack has spokes, and these are additional accessories, I believe.
For the new concept wheels, we also want to have a very personal touch to this set of wheels. And for people who sort of want to have individualism to their stuff, customization to make sure that it fits their bike perfectly. We can even customize the spokes. I'm not sure whether you can catch it from there. Later on, we'll actually do some close-ups. You can even have ombre colors and even silver ones, and then oil slick colors. A lot of different options. As long as customers want it, we can do it.
So this looks like you walk into a Rolls-Royce car showroom and you design the color of the leather that you want, but you can do this on the spokes. So what is the funkiest color you have? You told me you have Swarovski crystals. Is that correct?
Yes. Recently, from the manufacturer, they actually just did one in Swarovski crystal. The whole thing was silver crusted, and then the wheel was just all the spokes. I do not know how much that cost at this present moment. I don't dare to ask, but certainly will cost quite a bit to actually customize in that specification.
Very interesting. So let's go on to some of the questions, right? Some of the questions that I have. Well, we have already spoken about the company background. We have all three lineups, so New Concept, Classic, and Benchmark. And I think their lacing system is something very interesting to Vortex, right? I'm not sure if you've spoken about it. Could you give us some run through about the lacing system?
The lacing system, they actually do a 2-to-1. As you can see from here, we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. And then on the other side, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spokes. So effectively, there are 21 spokes. Very similar kind of lacing patterns. You can actually consider from Campagnolo, or you can even consider them from Fulcrum. I think these are all tried and tested technologies for structural rigidity. It allows a lot more lateral as well as side play as well. The thing is that when we are actually using our bikes, as you can see, there's actually a 2-cross here, and then on the side there's just radial. A lot of times people sort of just forgo that. We try to use. I've been playing with wheels for many years, probably about 15, 16 years, customizing some of these wheels, right down to the spec of the spokes, right down to the spec of the hubs, right down to the spec of the rims. But the thing is that even with 15 years of experience playing with everything out there in the market, what we tend to forget also is the weight of the spokes, which I just recently learned as well. When you actually use same length spokes, you don't really throw off the center of the weight. And when you actually put on the right kind of setup for two times 3 cross kind of lacing patterns, it actually strengthens out the wheel. So by fixing this head here and then going on a 2 cross, it actually increases the structural rigidity, so that when you actually talk about aerodynamics, it cuts through the air as much as possible, and it also makes sure that it's as strong as possible, because we really don't know what's the range of riders. They can be really beginners to people who are FTP supply. We want to really just make sure that the wheels are actually strong enough for that. That's why they designed it in such a way. And to make sure that it's as strong as possible.
Is this lacing system the same throughout all the lineup?
Yes.
Oh, it's the same? Okay. And because there are more spokes on the drive side where the cassette sits, does it make, I mean, it's a stupid question, but is it more heavy on the drive side?
Usually we want to have a bit more weight on a bit more spokes on the drive side to ensure the structural rigidity. So yes, there will be a little bit more weight. But I think that the sort of balancing, the active balancing of the wheels will actually sort of weigh it out eventually, because they do have counterweights on the wheels itself, specifically for every wheel.
Okay, so that's on the lacing system. Now, what everyone wants to know is the performance of these wheels. Could you just tell us, have you ridden on all these wheels, and what is the performance like on all these 3 wheels? Okay, sure. You've only ridden on this one, so yeah, how's the performance like on this one?
I've actually been testing these wheels. I've been running on net on my disc brakes, so I've not really tested the rim brakes. The rim brakes have been tested by a few of the other riders out there. Brake performance wise, they can already tell that yes, when you're actually going downhill, it gets a lot faster in terms of the brakes. And when you actually just roll the wheels on its own, it actually rolls a lot faster as well, and no effort. What I did find when I'm actually riding between the 40 and the 60, 40 in particular was actually very light. But for aero bike, sometimes you just look at it and say, maybe it's not as aero as I would like it to be. Some people sort of spec up and say, I would like to go for a 60. Yes, I've tested the 60. The 60 I would recommend for those who are of a stronger equilibrium of their riding. They will at least be able to power that up, because it takes a bit of effort to get up there, and then once you hold the speed, it holds for very well. That's why for the Singapore market now, because we have a very wide range of riders, I've actually started going on 40 front and a 60 rear, just as a start to sort of let people sort of have a feel of the wheels and to get into the market with this set of wheels. If we really compare it to Chinese wheels, we can't really compare them, because not many of the Chinese wheel companies are willing to stick their neck out and say that they have a lifetime crash replacement warranty, as well as this sort of lifetime crash replacement warranty usually applies to the European market.
Okay, let's move on to some of the questions from Instagram. Where can people buy this set of wheels?
These wheels are currently exclusively to myself at the moment. And then of course there are some retail stores such as TEF, which carry some of the range. I'm still working on the details of more retailers to sort of reach out to customers. So if you want to, you can actually come to me first. Eventually, we're going to work out for more of these retailers to be carrying Vortex wheels.
In what way does the carbon spokes differ with normal spokes, such as the CX Rays?
CX Rays, I've played with them before on my last hand-built wheel. They are approximately 15 to 20% lighter. And for some who actually know about this, I mean, this is, don't quote me, some people actually, don't quote me for this, okay? There are people who have actually sort of asked, who are into material. Between steel spokes to carbon fiber spokes, the number is about 15 times stronger. And I do believe that the carbon fiber spokes option will be the way to go forward for bicycle wheels. Of course, for steel spokes, they will still remain as common. One, because of a price standpoint, and two, because they don't have proprietary parts for those. And if you ask me if you just want a set of wheels, the carbon fiber spokes are one way to go forward because they are a lot stronger than conventional steel spokes.
What happens if there's any issues with the axle?
Warranty. Don't worry, I will sort it out.
Is this company or this set of lineups, are they a worthy competition to Winspace?
I think to put it into really into context of this question, Winspace has done itself really well. I used to sell a lot of them. I call them the game changer in the industry with the kind of price range that are going $1,500 and having to go with carbon fiber spokes, ceramic bearings, and of course 2-year warranty. I think that is something to be commendable about. Vortex, they are a different company altogether. In terms of using them side by side, comparing their build quality, you will sort of see the amount of details and as well as the differences between the two. So for most riders who go for Vortex, is that they already know what they're buying and they want more from their equipment and they want to go for the best. And that's why Vortex come into play. In China, they are one of the preferred brands over all the other European companies. And I do believe that Singapore eventually that will come to a day as well. They spend a lot of time and effort as well on their hill climb specials, the KOM. And Vortex is one of the preferred brands over there.
I'm going to put you on the spotlight again. Singapore being a very brand conscious country, do you think this set of wheels will take off? Because it's made in China, people don't hear about it. Popular brands like the Specialized Rovel, Envys are much more popular, and that will probably come into their mind first, right, when they think of wheels. So what is your response to that?
China is no longer the China that we remembered from 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. A lot of copies, especially within the last 2 years with the whole COVID situation really halting the whole entire industry. They have come to stand on their own to say that yes, we have been prepared all these years with all the OEM that we have been doing for the rest of the world. And if we really put it into context, they are probably the number one or number two carbon fiber manufacturer in the whole of the world when it comes to bicycle products. We talk about other products, yes, camera tripods. We can talk about everything under the sun for carbon fiber. I think with their years of experience, with their years of expertise, and now with all this different variations of sort of expertise, they are going to be pushing that forward. And I think that has been my challenge for the longest time, to try with new products, to bring it to the mass market and to be able to educate people. I do like to spend time as well as to make sure that people actually understand what they're buying. Whether they buy it from me or buy it from someone else, it doesn't really matter. To me, it's all about sharing the sort of information as well as the joy that I've gathered over the years to actually just to newcomers or even people who are more willing to actually learn about new things, just spread that kind of information around. I don't really sort of go around and compare straight out. I just feel that it's more important to actually share that information.
That was, do you prepare for that question? No. I just have to point out that you have very cool socks, man. So do I. But my socks has been 5 years old. It's already sagging. Where do you get those socks, man? I love it.
These are from DHB. Super cheap.
Okay. Can I get some? Are you selling them?
No,
oh, you don't sell them? Okay. Okay, let's just have Freehub sounds. Let's start with this is the new concept. Let's go. This is the new concept. Next one is the Classic. And the last one is the Benchmark. So the Benchmark seems to be the loudest one amongst all the other two. The new Concept one seems to be much more subtle, but very, I would say, very muted in that sense. Not too loud, just right, I think.
Carbon fiber.
Carbon fiber, yeah. Last question is, do I get to bring all of this home? It's already unboxed.
We'll arrange.
Damn it, every time you bring things for me, right, you let me unbox but you don't let me bring it home. The last one was the Sika, now these 3 wheels. What are you going to bring me next, man? What do you guys want to watch next? Okay, I think we have enough unboxing already. I mean, Jack, thank you so much again for bringing out all this and showing it to us. That wraps up the video. Yeah, this is a new series that I'm starting with Jack. Maybe next time we can do tires and stuff since you've got a bunch of products at home. And hope you like this one, and see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.